Happy Monday, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. There we go. Hey, it is May 26th, 2020. I'm Bryce Castillo. It is the pre-show here for the Night Attack pre-show. It's the pre-show for the Night Attack show. We just did the pre-show for the Night Attack pre-show, but this is the Night Attack pre-show. Hello, everybody. It is May 26th. We're going to start off the pre-show as we've been doing the past few weeks. Who, between May 20th and May 26th had a birthday? Who had a birthday? Bryce's birthday borner is on. Of course, if nobody had a birthday, it brings me no joy to report that we once again have to celebrate Chris Brown's birthday, and I really don't want to do that. So if anybody had a birthday this week, let us know.
What did I just walk into?
So
what just happened?
So this is a thing I've been doing in the past, 3 or 4 weeks on the pre-show.
Celebrating Chris Brown's birthday.
I would like to not celebrate Chris Brown's birthday, but so that's why people
like
in the chat.
Default option.
And I don't make the rules. Unfortunately, I don't make the birthday rules. Let's see. Coaster Rage's birthday was last week. I do remember them saying that last week. So congratulations, happy birthday to Coaster Rage. Let's see. Anybody else? It's John Wayne's birthday, apparently. You a John Wayne fan, Brian?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not. Can't name a single thing.
It's also last Thursday was very understated birthday. So happy birthday to both of you. There we go. That's Bryce's birthday borner. Bump bump. How you doing, Brian?
Good.
Good.
Actually, really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah. No, I took a moment. I'm a little bit cloudy. You ever do meditation? You ever sit down and actually full on meditate?
No. I have things that I do that are one thing I do. I don't know if you do this.
I don't mean centering activities because I'm certain we all do that. But I mean
right.
I mean the full on just you're meditating.
I don't believe I have now, but I know that you've been doing like Headspace and stuff for a little while,
yeah.
Right? How's that? Tell the people how that is going. While
it's better than I would expect. I've actually stopped using the app because at some point you build up like an internal voice in your mind, and you could just do it. Definitely did it for 30 minutes and got really centered, felt really good. But
yeah,
it is a bit like you just woke up, even though you never quite go to sleep or anything or whatever, so it's like, so suddenly you
need to wake up.
Yeah, you find yourself a little bit foggy.
Yeah. Do you, if you do, I want to ask you what it is because I know you're not supposed to do that. But do you have a mantra or do you
no.
Thing?
As a matter of fact, that's one of the great things about Headspace is that they don't rely on any of that stuff. Instead, there's Australian, New Zealander. I don't know what Andy is. Have you ever heard Andy? Have you ever listened to?
No, I've never seen the Headspace.
Do a quick search on YouTube for Headspace animation. And he'll give a very quick metaphor for what it's like to sit under a tree and have your thoughts running around like a crazy dog and just, kind of rein them back in. There you go. Let's take a look at this metaphor.
Okay, how this goes.
Training the mind is often quite different to how people imagine it to be. Maybe they have an idea it's about stopping thoughts or eliminating feelings.
Yeah, right?
But the reality is a bit different. An easy way to think of it is to imagine yourself sitting on the side of a busy road, the passing cars representing the thoughts and the feelings. All you have to do is to sit there and watch the cars. Sounds easy, right? But what usually happens is that we feel a bit unsettled by the movement of the traffic. So we run out into the road and try and stop the cars, or maybe even chase after a few, forgetting that the idea was to just sit here. And of course, all of this running around only adds to the feeling of restlessness in the mind. So training the mind is about changing our relationship with the passing thoughts and feelings, learning how to view them with a little more perspective. And when we do this, we naturally find a place of calm.
Yeah, so
but we sometimes forget the idea of the exercise and become distracted.
Like the big thing is just acknowledge. Just be like, oh, I'm having that thought. let's let it go or whatever. My favorite is, and I don't know if they've publicly published this, but there's a Headspace animation where they talk about the metaphor of like being in the clouds and the blue skies were always clear overhead. Man, is that a good one. But it's weird. It's weird to just announce, I'm going to go meditate and then just sit there and close your eyes for a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you went and did that
just now.
Just did that?
Just
nice.
now, which is why I'm a little bit foggy, having walked straight over to here right now.
How if this is not too personal, how often do you find that you meditate in that way?
I aim for once a day. Truthfully, it's like once every 2 to 3 days. It should be more. The problem, of course, is scheduling out moments. Like in this case, there happened to be a gap where I had completed the things I needed to get done, and looking at the old wristwatch, it's like, oh wait, there's a gap of about 45 minutes. Don't want to go to a restaurant. Don't want to whatever. Why don't I just meditate? And so I did, and then I just walked straight right over here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And yeah, so you said you've kind of outgrown the app a little bit.
Well, it's if I say that, it makes it sound
I've used
it's
very
beneath
pointed
or
words.
whatever. I suppose what I want to say is like it's taught me the hardest part of the lesson, which is to build up a virtual Andy in my mind and just, you already know what he's going to say, right? He's going to say like, oh, there's a thought. You can acknowledge it and just let it go. And it's like, meanwhile, you're going to focus on your breathing. You're going to go in, you're out. You're going to focus on your body. Let's do a body check, starting with your head, going down to your feet. It's like at some point, to be honest, we kind of went through the same thing with therapy. In fact, the best session of therapy that we had was our last, because it's a 30-minute drive from our house to where we were doing couples therapy. And then on the way, it's like, hey man, what are we going to discuss? Well, we're going to talk about this pressing issue, and almost certainly we're going to talk about what this, and what's she going to say? She's going to remind us that this is where we do this, that, and the other thing. And then basically we got there, and it's like, oh yeah, no, here's everything we already did. Here's everything we already, applied. That's your report. Also, pretty sure we don't need to keep coming because we've listened and we're doing the thing that you're doing or that you're telling us to do.
It's interesting because on some
Yep.
Hello? How about now?
So,
there we go.
Justin, we were. Oh no, he's fixing things.
He's working.
Don't worry about it.
Excuse me. But so you guys have kind of resolutely stopped going
To therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, therapy was never about a rift between me and Bonnie. It was always about, like, holy cow, we're being handed some puzzles that we're not equipped to handle. We don't know where our individual boundaries lie or what's inbounds and out of bounds and all that stuff. So we went to a couples therapist, and then it must have been for about half a year, and then it was like, yeah, we got it. We know what you're going to ask, and these are the answers. Bye, and so that was pretty much it.
It seems like a good sign of stability, knowing that kind of knowing and having the tools that therapy has given you to handle various situations.
There is a bliss and a power in having language for things. And I would say that therapy's greatest gift is that it gives words for fairly universal feelings, right? And you're able, and the words are often carefully crafted to not be loaded one way or the other to associate blame or whatever. And this is a big part of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, right? Where you avoid mind reading, catastrophizing, all of those things. It's been really, really good.
Cool. Hey, Justin.
What's up, fam? How we doing?
Yo.
Doing pretty good. Just hanging out.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've in the limited therapy situations that I've been in and hearing people discuss it, the biggest thing that I think is worth it is just that there's a lot of yada 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 that we do in our own lives and in our own brains, and I guess this is kind of the tenet of mindfulness too, is like consciously looking back through that, let alone in therapy, having like a trained professional kind of like poke and prod these areas, I think reveals where we are kind of like just bridging these gaps in our mind, either through like conflict avoidance or, just bargaining, dealing with your life, like the things that you can and cannot change. Like, I think that there's just so much value to that.
You know what I wonder is how much of therapy is really just permission, because what we're really seeking is like, well, I want to feel like a piece of shit because I did or said this thing or whatever. And then it's the therapist who says, well, really, that was outside of your boundaries. So kind of, no, I don't give you permission to own and make that an equivalent of you're a piece of garbage or whatever. Or it's like, I do give you permission to hear about this other person's problem and give you permission to not let it ruin your day because you deserve to do your own thing, whatever that is, you know? I guess, I don't know, it's all about boundaries or whatever. But specifically, it's interesting because, like, the most extraordinary part of our brief journey into therapy was the part where we, right as you called, we were talking about how on our way to therapy, we identified all the things we were going to talk about, all the things we were worried about, all the things we knew the therapist was going to say, and then basically the therapy session itself was a bunch of just reporting, and then we're like, yeah, I think this is our last therapy session for a bit, and she was like, bye.
Yeah.
It's like the Jerry Barry moment where he's like, you were always free to go. You know?
Yeah.
It was great.
I mean, and I think that's the value is being able to understand that this is not like a technician for your brain that you need, right? Like this is a guide to healthier thinking.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh boy. How you doing, Bryce?
Doing good. I had a packed day today. I was writing. We got a good game coming up today, the monster match, and that reminds me, I need to pull up that sounder. So that took a little while, but we had a lot of great community contributions for that, so that'll be a lot of fun. Put on a new email today that I said I was going to do over the weekend, but it's Tuesday. But I got it out, so that was good.
Yeah.
What else? There was one other thing I did today.
Sunbun, trying to be all sassy, trying to hit us on the pre-show with our responsibilities that don't start for, may I remind you, 31 more minutes.
30 more minutes.
We get to be sincere right up until 9 o'clock
right
Central.
up until go time.
Yeah.
Meryl Bar. So we did Cord Killers yesterday with Meryl Bar.
Okay, can we talk about this?
So we did Cord Killers.
We already got an email. Did you see the email?
No, I'll look it up after this.
Somebody sent in an email at the 40-minute mark before we called it out. Can you guess what the email said?
Why does he have to curse so much? So Meryl Bar comes on. Cord Killers and Weird Things are kind of our family-friendly shows, so we always bleep out the big curse words. And even with bleeping them, I would bet if I look back, the person who sent that new email is probably the same person who had the same issue last time. But Meryl, I think
got fired up.
He got
bad boy Meryl Bar.
He got a little fired up, and even like we made a point of it before we turned the stream on to be like, because you had cursed, and I was like, Ryan, watch your language.
Right.
About to do the show.
Reminder, this is kind of the rules that we're up to. Yeah.
And so we had about, 13 different edit points for curses.
From
the internet's bad boy Meryl Bar.
And
Justin, can you were not there?
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna bet you can perfectly replicate what my view was. Imagine. So here's me on this shot, doing cord killers. Corner of my eye, I see Bryce every time Meryl Barr curses. Just number one, pretend to produce, right? You're producing.
I'm producing. I'm Bryce, look
anyway,
at me.
Something, that thing, the other dude, and a fucking Quibi. Fucking Quibi. Quibi fucks. Yeah. Anyway, go on. W. Scott is one. Yep.
not crazy. But I think Meryl. I think Meryl likes
and by the way,
it.
for the audio listeners, I was taking pictures of the screen because that's what Bryce has to do every time that somebody curses.
Well, I got my fancy iPad.
I hate to say this, but he actually has an app.
Right?
I have the app
completely dedicated
to
Meryl cursing. That he taps that gives the time code for when Meryl curses.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
But I think Meryl likes it. I think he likes this narrative because it's been every chance he's had is like, I'm so sorry.
He refused to acknowledge any of it. He's like, I honest to God forgot. Oh God.
But I think he likes to, like not even a big deal. Like it's a couple extra minutes of editing, but apology accepted. You're good. You're good. You're good, my man.
What's funny is like we don't mind cursing, and like it's not the expression that we mind at all. It's Bryce personally who is watching you hand him chore after chore after chore. And that's the part that really tickled me, because I know institutionally we have no problem with a billion beeps, but I'm watching the person Bryce really wish he had less homework assignments than he's being handed nonstop by Meryl Barr.
There is when you are editing something and you know you have to take out every curse word, there is just a different way you look at life as soon as the first curse word goes out. Because two things happen. Number one, you better hope that you're catching them all as they go, right? And then there's like the possibility like, fuck, do I need to go back and listen to this like whole thing again, but really pay attention to it? And then the other side is, even then, I still got to go back and get them. And let's hope that something didn't get fucked up where like I don't get one, or now like one isn't in the exact same time code for whatever reason. And now it's like a little needle in a haystack thing where you got to find the where's Waldo. Dude, editing family friendly or because I'm doing it now with PX3, and sometimes guests curse. And I have not been in the place, because mostly I've interviewed academics. I've not really been in the place where I've had to tell people, but my friends like Kevin Ryan or Andrew Heaton or whatever that come on that we've actually talked, and I curse a lot. They curse a lot, and it's just it's kind of a thing.
Doubly complicated, because as a producer and a creative, I love bleeping curse words. It's the best of all worlds. Everybody knows exactly what you said. You have to take none of the heat for it.
Sure.
Yeah. However, some human being has to sit there and listen and log and bleep out every single curse word.
Well,
and when you see that person watch homework be handed to him,
oh yeah, no, it sucks. It sucks.
It's like it's not even that. It's not that. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I think because it's such a small slight, and your reaction is proportionate to it, is what I enjoy about it. Because it's not like you're table flipping. It's just I get to watch all of these, and keep in mind, I'm not seeing it on a camera. I'm seeing the actual person that it's just like or the.
When I think, because I'm not on camera for a lot of this, I could just be like,
it's so much better. Better. It's the best ever. If you can subscribe, you should have your own Patreon. We can set up a web camera that just watches you watch Meryl Barr on Cord Killers.
You want to know what it is? It's like you're closing a restaurant and the manager's leaving, and just on the way out, the manager's like, "Oh, by the way, could you just take the trash outside? Just leave it outside, and also could you just make sure that these counters are wiped down?" Like, it's just none of it takes more than 5 seconds. All of it is 5 seconds more work than you thought you had.
Imagine watching that moment 12 times in 1 hour. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Oh my God.
Oh, Cord Killer is that comic. Man.
Yeah, man. What's going on?
I'll tell you what is not going on is me doing jack shit on Hearthstone. Did you are you going for it? Are you close?
Nah, I fucking got up to like 3 and 2 stars, and then I ate shit. And I know I need a new deck because the meta has like substantially changed from when that deck was doing really, really well. Like it used to eat up Galakron Rogue, and I haven't seen a ton of Galakron Rogue. It's been a bunch of other stuff that's been like really good.
I really enjoyed reducing whoever they are to like a fake archetype of them. Like anyone who is like playing Galakron, I reduce to a religious zealot. And I'm like, oh, we got a true believer here. Oh, don't worry. Galakron will come for us. I'm sure he'll be around the corner any minute now. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then they beat me, and I'm like, oh, who knew? Galakron is real.
Galakron, be good. Be good. Yeah, so I don't know. I ate shit over the weekend. I was doing really well. I was like, I had built back up, and I was at like rank 4, 3 stars, and then I ate all of the shit all the way back down to the bottom of rank 5, and I'm like, fuck it, whatever.
Hey, what do you think of, there's these gizmos that let you do essentially like a private version of Twitter over text messaging, right? You know about this?
No.
Oh, yeah. No, this thing where celebrities are like giving out like, hey, text me your phone number. Yeah.
Oh, the fake text message email list. Yes.
I mean, except it's totally authentic in that it's your words.
It's definitely ninjas texting me. My friend Tony Hawk is texting me.
How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, it's a dumb pipe, right? So whatever you do with it is what you do with it. I can understand the value of it. And if somebody wants to get on a fucking mailing list for text message, then that's their right.
This is the question do you think everybody's figured out that they're signing up for an email list just yet? How long until people figure out that's what it really is?
I think they already have a sense of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that it's too much of a secret or anything. I think it's just like, because you're getting exactly what you would get out of an email list.
Only
right?
with like more attention and more like definitely that person or more likely that person.
I mean, maybe, but in general, like, how do you know that email list isn't being written by that person?
Well,
like,
and that's the problem is like right now, I actually do respond to all of the emails on the email list. And the fucking first response every time is, I know this isn't really Brian, but, and I'm just like, fucking table flip. Why am I even trying? It's like, at least this would be closer to more people believing that it's actually me responding to them.
Maybe because the way that most of these things work is like I remember the Ninja thing when Ninja did it, because that was a pretty big thing a year or so ago, which was like, here's my real phone number, text me. And it was not his real phone number. You weren't texting him. You were getting on his
Dude, I remember it because like they were playing a game on stage and he said that he was going to tweet out his actual phone number. And then I was like, whatever, as if.
That was my real phone number.
No.
That was
that's
my
the
actual
joke.
phone
That's
number.
the bit I'm doing, Justin, is that you actually did this, and I'm acting like it's crazy.
Did. Yeah, that's a fact. So fucking I still get text messages randomly from.
So I think there's always going to be that element to the onboarding process of like, oh, is this like someone thinking that it might actually be your real number, especially if they don't know about these text message mailing lists, you know. But I think once you get the first couple of them and you realize, oh, this is just that thing.
What about this? Some marketer hit me up with this, the chatbot Facebook thing, where it's like, have a chatbot talk on your behalf. I don't know anything about that, but I'm like, that sounds really insincere. And I would love to know more about it.
Well, and it's a lot for like businesses who are like if you have a mattress company and someone always like, it's the same thing as the little chat bots on these websites when you go to, and it says click here to chat with Tony.
Yeah.
You know, it's mostly just like
Tony.
a phone tree. It's a chat phone tree. It's now just a phone tree. And then they have a real problem, then it gets sent to a human.
Well, I think that you're doing kind of two different things. Like, I think if you have a chatbot, I think, as Bryce said, it's more for like frequently asked questions, or if you want to do something, if you have a silly idea for it. With the text thing, it's literally just like, I think you using it would actually make sense because you make sure to write something original in all of your emails. Like you do try to put in a like, hey, did you see this video? Or, hey, this is a thing I did that you might be interested in. You would just basically be doing the exact same thing with the text. It would be like, hey, by the way, here's a crazy video. Also, don't know if you would be interested, but maybe you do. So I'd kick myself if I didn't send it to you. Wallets are 20% off.
So here is the thought that popped into my mind is I really enjoyed the brief 20 minutes where the Schwood Black Ops account was actually functional, where I could on Twitter say things that I shouldn't be caught saying on Twitter, and directing people to do things or whatever to cause shenanigans or whatever. Like, it seems like that, texting mailing listy thing might fill that void.
Oh, you wanted to use it for that? I mean, that's why we have a Discord, dude.
Yeah, we have we have three whole groups of people ready to do your bidding. You just have to ask them.
Yeah. Literally, that's why you have a private Discord. You just say like, "Yo, fuck it, this Reddit thread, blow it up.
Fuck it, these motherfuckers, go."
No, what I would do is I would do a scam stuff, one. Literally, just say these are for fucking deals that we only put up for X amount of time, and just do it as the Brian Brushwood scam stuff thing. The exact same relationship that people have with your email. There are a section of people that would be happy to have it with text.
Basically, just show up and train, the folks who are there, where it's like, yeah, this is the place where this happens.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really just about, do you like getting alerted on email about these hot deals in Brian's life, or do you like getting the text message? One is probably going to be shorter and might feel a little bit more intimate because you don't get a lot of fucking business shit in there. The other is email, and you're used to that. But either way, I think that it doesn't surprise me that this is taken off, because we have realized very quickly, like, oh, we're never going to build technologies like email and text ever again, are we? We're all of this
we
from
already
here on
did
out.
it. We did it. They're there. There's the short thing and the big thing.
And yeah, that's the thing, is we spent, I mean, God, how long through the aughts do you remember hearing like, the next $1 billion company is the email killer? And now it's like, oh my God, thank God we didn't kill email. Fucking everything else that was like there to make email or to take the place of it has all become fucking worse. And their free ass email sitting there, not having anybody censor you.
I don't know, man. I do feel like there's something to that. I think live on the air we were cooking it up, and then no, maybe it was just afterwards. But Will Harris, we were talking about the idea of a separate from email, call it brevity, where you can only do 500 characters, and it auto deletes after 24 hours.
Oh, we talked about this on.
Yeah,
we talked a lot. I remember this, and we remember just talking
all
about.
I know is we got far enough.
Every version of you should do a full fucking podcast, Brian,
of
where
nothing
it's
but
just
selling this idea.
Just no of the greatest hits of Brian Solves email, which is always about Brian solving Brian's email.
Right.
I don't know how much it really.
Spoiler alert: the solution is always. Yeah.
Just make a new thing.
What if we reduce the expectation that anybody would ever engage with it ever?
Yeah. So brevity's one.
Yep.
An AI response to all my emails is another.
Yep.
I'm gonna declare email bankruptcy.
That's another.
That's another greatest hit.
Classic.
Oh, is brevity part of the pay me and I will respond? To
No.
But
But that is a good
pay
one.
me and I'll respond to
That's
your
brevity
email.
prime.
Yeah.
Which costs you just a little bit of money to get me to actually read your email.
So far, we have 4 episodes of Brian Brushwood.
Also, I still
email.
have the domain brvt.me. I still have brevity.me.
Oh, jeez, you actually bought something.
Yes. I mean, it was $15.
The interesting thing is 3 of those ideas like already like exist or happen, right? Like
No. A lot of these are
Yeah, but
prefaced
not
on the
like
idea
this.
that the rest of society also thinks this is a good idea. Like
if we could
they
just
are
get
all-
10% of email users.
Yeah.
And those people had a downstream income. If they got 10 more. Oof.
Yeah, ultimately it's like your problem is you just need a separate scam school email address.
It's getting better now because I've reduced my internal. As a matter of fact, just as you joined us, Justin, we were talking about meditation and therapy and that kind of stuff. Like, you can wish for some institutional platform, or you can make the change in yourself where you no longer feel an obligation to respond to every email. And one of those, yours truly has done.
Nice.
And life is a lot better.
Wow.
You feel no obligation to respond to anybody.
Okay.
It's a fairly remarkable change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of that comes from a place of just not being afraid of missing out anymore, where it's just like, yeah, it's a river. When you're thirsty, you're going to put your hand in the river. You're going to grab as much as feels right. You're going to drink. God damn it.
Sorry. As I see you.
I think I was literally explaining the same epiphany in that moment, which is why I'm upset by this. Like, that is exactly how I look when I talk about my epiphany about the world's obligations on yours truly.
No, I think that's smart and it's good and it's a long time coming, because I don't think everybody who emails you has an expectation of emailing you, which I think part of the reason why you did it for so long is that no matter what, either you are fulfilling an obligation and creating more of a peer-to-peer relationship with somebody that emails you, or they don't expect anything. They're like, I bet you this isn't Brian. And then they get Brian. And then they're like, what? God exists. My atheism is for naught. And they slit their throat and fall down a fucking cliff.
I think the hard part that is now fixed is I recognized at some point that what I wanted to do was believe that future Brian was going to be better than current Brian. And I had no solution on how to deal with all I knew how to do was to punt to future Brian. And there are brief periods that future Brian eventually made a game out of spending 2 or 3 days responding to emails or whatever. But in general, future Brian, not as great as you would think.
Because like you only got 10 fingers, dude. Like there's no amount of getting better, getting swole, losing weight. Like there's no better version of your human body that's going to be any more efficient at doing email.
But what I do have now is any moment I feel like future Brian will have the answer to this, I have another email address to send it to and say, hey man, current Brian thinks this is really important and you just tee it up on the plate for future Brian. And then someone who is not me gets to look at that and says, yeah, boss, wink, I'll make sure to do that. It's pretty great.
You want to know what I found that I've helped? It's helped me get to inbox zero a bunch. Which I actually just got down this weekend. I got down all my accounts down to inbox zero, which like I realized that like just makes my life. I just feel lighter if I have inbox zero. Although I don't have the fucking beautiful sun that Google Inbox used to show me. Oh, what a beautiful world. We knew we had turned away. The further we turned away from God's light was when we turned away from Inbox. And now look at us.
Oh, by the way, to clarify, somebody in the chat is saying like somebody's going to get Brian to read all his emails. I realize that I'm not comfortable with that. And instead, the closest I've been able to get is
son of a bitch.
When I encounter a complicated email, anytime there's any email that thinks future me should get to that, there's instead just someone who is not me that I forward that off to. And then however many of those are relevant end up showing up at some point in the future.
Here was the strategy. The strategy is find a place for everything that's not an email.
Yep.
If it's a schedule, even if it's a thing that you need to get back to, put it on a to-do list to say like, respond to email about blank. But now you've accounted for it. It's on a thing and it's not in another. It's not like email is for destruction. You destroy the fucking records. And if it's important, if it's just to be gone, it's just to be gone. If it's important, it will be put in the place where it gets optimized to have done. The only thing I haven't gotten rid of is there's a rebate for an airline thing that I haven't deleted because I know I have no idea where I'm going to.
What I would love is if there was just an easy button, because the ones that always get me are, number one, people asking for hard life advice or making a specific request that I feel like I owe it to them to try to fulfill.
Yeah.
There was somebody who had a personal tragedy that happened, their house burned down or whatever, and they were requesting a video. So it's like, that's one that I'm like I will definitely make 3 minutes and do it. And eventually I did it and it got seen and I'm very pleased and proud of that. But then there's other ones that are like, here's an idea for a Scam School episode or a Scam Nation episode. And I mark it unread when what I wish I could do is hit one button that gives some version of thanks so much, putting it in the file. And then it goes in the file. And then when I need a Scam Nation routine, I find it there. But
I mean, you can
make rules for all that stuff,
or not even. I guess
it's just that a little. That's a
make
little bit
tag,
more.
click a tag.
Yeah.
But it's
that's exactly
99%
two
of
more clicks
than
I'm comfortable doing.
Bryce, wait, what app did you just show?
Gmail.
Oh, that's the Gmail app.
Yeah.
It's not the sun. It's not the big, beautiful sun.
Well, it's not the same as the one that they had on Inbox, but it's still.
But now they do have a thing. I'm glad they have a thing now. They didn't have a thing before.
And it
I
has
hope
the sun
that they
in
got
it.
fucking harassed.
It has a sun in it.
Oh, no. But initially, when I switched from Inbox to Gmail,
that's right.
It's not the same beautiful sun.
Okay, but it's a
fucking knock it off. It's fucking. You're getting offensive.
Oh my God.
Dude, I used to fucking love the
Do
sun.
me a favor,
all right?
Log all of these curses. Just bleep out those only to offend Justin. Like leave all the rest, but just bleep out those.
Yeah, when I first got on I went to the Gmail. They're like, it's the same thing. Gmail is now Inbox, and I'm like, fuck you. You know that's not the right thing. And then I got the Gmail, and on the web, Gmail is just they stapled so much dumb shit onto Gmail without it. Like Google has such a fucking bad track record of let's come up with an idea. Okay. Idea is now live, but we give no context of like, oh, here's the toolbox, add on to however you want to customize your Gmail. It's all just another button. Every email has 50 buttons. Would you like to send it in Spanish? Would you like to send it once, but then have it send back to you and then send back to them?
Let me just put a pin in this conversation, and instead let's take a moment to address the more relevant question from Venture Mountain in the chat, which I believe was, how do you guys sound so awesome on your stream?
So the short answer is we have our own voice.
We spend a lot of money. Patreon.com/Night Attack.
So we have our own dedicated VoIP solution.
Yeah.
And nice microphones.
We have good microphones. We have good internet, and we have.
Also, it helps if you buy 3 different ISPs so that you can launch every live stream with a failover. And if one of those 3 goes bad, you launch with the other 2, so you still launch with a failover.
Do you realize that between the 2 of us,
there's 7 ISPs,
5 ISPs. For 2 physical locations, we have 5 ISPs.
God damn it.
Oh, wait, no. 6 if you count my phone. 6 if you count my phone.
Fuck yeah. Hey, man, we care. Hashtag putt-putt.
Yeah, no. God damn it. How fucking shitty was it? The internet fell to shit, so we couldn't laugh while everybody was bad at this. Now everybody's good at it. All the fucking TV people figured out how to be like so much better within like 2 weeks. And it just so happened in those 2 weeks, our internet was so shitty that we couldn't fucking laugh at them. That was our moment, Brian.
It's probably karmic justice. It's probably maybe the guidance we needed in that moment. Also, ESPN does the Ocho and hijacks our hashtag of hashtag putt-putt at that exact moment. All of that,
our very proprietary hashtag putt-putt.
Thank you, Bryce.
We put so much into it, Bryce.
This is a bit we haven't even paid off yet. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, can we give a big shout out? If somebody in the chat can get the link, OMG chat, of course, went over 1 million subscribers. We got the man himself a trophy to commemorate it.
Are you comfortable? How much are you comfortable sharing how we got to that trophy?
Oh, everything. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. The only reason why we didn't talk about it before is because we wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah. So there was man, I'm so glad we ended up with the one that we did. We knew we wanted something ridiculous. If we could, we would staple a bowling trophy on top of a soccer trophy or whatever. But
oh my God, yeah.
How did you find what we found?
So we had some help with a man on the inside. And
his name's Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner.
You can see him mid-transformation in this photo.
Well, so we had a man in Chad's area that was like, all right, well, here's your options. Because I had mentioned, hey, we want to get him a trophy. And he's like, okay, well, here are your options. Here's a trophy place that's around here. An
insane, ridiculous trophy. Like
I was like,
on the shelf. We want to be the most embarrassing of all of them.
And so initially my thought was, if I had not gotten in contact with him, I was going to be like, just call trophy places around there and be like, all right, A, do you deliver? And B,
1-800 trophies.
Give me your largest trophy. I want by height and weight your biggest possible trophy. I don't care what sport it's for. It could be bass fishing. I don't give a fuck. I want this thing to be like so big that it's immediately cumbersome and he throws it away. Like that's the goal. And so eventually we realized, okay, our options are not really voluminous during all this shit that's going on right now. And there's one that's right around the corner. And so as with anything, I'm looking up ideas, right? And then I'm sending them to Brian. And of course, Brian's first thought is like, oh, this is great. So what if we got 4 trophies and stapled them to 6 trophies? And we also
that sounds very Brian-like.
Created a rainbow outside of his house, and that would be great. Like,
it's not the thumbs up or thumbs down emoji; it's the middle finger emoji.
It's like, look, it's all great brainstorming for 6 months ago. Like, if we would have known we were in this situation and we weren't in a current pandemic, these are all great ideas. None of these ideas are bad. They're amazing.
I want to say, hold on, let me, if you don't mind me sharing, let me share the exact verbiage that what I could tell Justin was meaning to imply is, hey, our options are limited and our time is short. Will you please confirm that this is okay? What you said was,
motherfucker, yes or no? Uh-oh. He's looking for it.
Oh, I don't think you even said it.
Oh, no.
I think you
ESP'd it.
No, I mean, I think we talked about it.
Yeah,
I think that
it was some version of like, hey, we can do this or we can do nothing. Love, Justin.
Yes. And so the one that we initially wanted, if Brian, I don't know how.
You know what? I don't even want to show it because it's inferior to what we got.
It was a trophy. All right, there we go.
It was a trophy holding a trophy.
It was a trophy holding up another smaller trophy.
Okay, so this one is like, yeah, that's great. And then he sends me this motherfucker. And I'm just like, no.
So we call, I call the trophy place and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for this trophy. And it's a very nice guy. And he's like, okay, what
telling
number
me
is it?
He just happened to sound exactly like your parody of OMG Chad. It's very weird.
That's not OMG Chad. That's not my. No.
Sorry, how different? So do for me as if OMG Chad answered the phone.
Come on. All right, did OMG Chad answer the phone?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, just for grins, just so we could get a sense of the range, what if Bryce answered that phone call?
Easy. Hey, Juice. Easy. Come on.
Glad we're on the same
I can
page.
do this all day. Fucking regular Rich Little over here. Holy shit. It's like the real people. So this guy picks up the phone and he's like, okay, what do you want? And I'm like, I want the trophy holding the little trophy. And he's like, oh, when do you want to buy? And I'm like, 2 days. And he's like, oh, okay, hold on, let me look. And he looks and he's like, yeah, sorry, we don't have every single trophy that's listed on our website at all times within 48 hours notice. And I'm like,
that was his first. Right. That's so aggressive. We don't have every item on our website.
Very, very specific for this bit that he would exactly spell that out for you.
How dare you call me?
Did he go on to explain how AliExpress works?
Are we so married to reality that you want me to go through every syllable with this banal conversation with this guy? I'm skipping to the end.
All right.
So I go, all right, that's fine. We're not married to that trophy. I literally just need the weirdest, largest trophy you have, non-sports. It's a business thing. It's not a sports thing, but we want it to be fun. And so he's like, oh.
So he is Asian.
My son of a bitch.
Boy,
I wasn't going to say that one.
What a fucking trap that was. There's no getting out of that.
Which, by the way, makes you double racist because he was Mexican.
Oh! Got his ass.
Also, we both somehow inoculated ourselves during that transgression. Keep going.
Gotcha. So then I guess the other lady that he was working with is like, what about this one? And he's like, him trying to explain it was funny. He's like, it's the Hulk. I mean, he's not really the Hulk. And he's ripping off his shirt. And his pants are ripping, and I'm like, can you just send me a photo?
You're like, I'm fully erect. Also, I'm going to start spending $20 per minute starting now.
and so he sends me the thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so I sent it to Brian, and Brian was like, yes.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is where we ended up.
The only thing that sucks is that initially I was under the impression that the 3 lines would be enough that OMG Chad Johnson, you did it, and the final one would be a diamond. I really wanted the diamond so we knew that it was all of us here at Diamond Club.
I mean, unfortunately, as we know, he barely remembers us and will likely not know who gave this to him. It's a real bummer.
He's too big for his britches.
from when, when his entire house collapses around him, and now they're like looking, who was this mysterious man?
He says, "Thank you, Leo Laporte, for this statue."
This is for the archives.
Renigo asks, is Chad still banned? He is.
Yeah, totally banned.
Sorry about it.
Yeah,
we banned his
along
ass.
with John Tilton, Nick Wells, Mike Galante.
Mike, yeah.
What's Captain MG up to?
Probably
an admiral
flying
now.
around in fucking empty planes, I would assume. We can
Yeah,
call him.
because he was a flight attendant for Southwest, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
John C. Dvorak.
Yeah, Dvorak's not
That
allowed.
motherfucker's still ducking me.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Scuba
no,
Faith, thank you very much.
he agreed to do a BX30
Holy
episode.
shit, that was a big number I just saw go by.
That was a big-
Somebody whip out your bit boss. What just happened?
Scoop of faith. God
Holy
damn.
shit. God damn.
10,000 bits. Thank you so much.
Man, I'll tell you what. I don't believe it's possible for me to love anyone more than Scoop of Faith.
No,
But it sure
I
would be
think, I think
interesting.
Jordan DeMoss and Rock Roll Martian.
Sure would be interesting to see what it looked like if I did love somebody more than Scoop of Faith. Just saying.
Hey, Brian, what race is this?
Klingon. That's definitely Paul. That's Paul Mattingly.
Kapla!
Mokbong. Mokbong.
No, that's Korean. Oh.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
mukbang is somebody eating his cup. Never mind. Ah, Jesus. Fuck.
Wow.
It's fine. It's fine.
We got there. And by there, I mean racism.
Wait.
It's
Mukbang.
Oh, you cannot. You literally just tried to put me in racial and racist chess twice during my fucking trophy story.
you and both times you cast counterspell. I
Yes.
don't see what the problem is. like you won. You won.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay for me to put you in racist check because you can get out of it.
Yes. Yeah, I see your secret question mark hanging above your head. I know what you cast.
All right, it's 8 after if you need to go do
Holy
things.
shit.
Oh my God, Jordan DeMoss with 20,000 bits. Good God. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Wow, we haven't even started the show
wow. Hey, remember what a piece of shit Scoop of Faith is?
yeah, man. I used to have faith, and then now I don't. Now I'm
Yeah.
Jordan DeMoss.
Oh, speaking of Jordan DeMoss,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that box outside.
I don't know if I did. Should I? Is that going to him?
No, it's got that person's name on it. They sent us something, I think.
Uh-oh.
It's fragile. It says fragile on it.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's all the bits.
I'll bet you it's a bunch of bits. I'll bet you it's a bunch of bits.
it? But that check. Because why would she put it there? Oh, it is?
I'm not gonna say who that's going to,
Oh
but
shit.
it's definitely coming from Bonnie Brush.
Oh fuck. Okay. And I think the name was wrong too. I think it was
Yes.
Morden.
It was Mordred LeFay.
Why would you put it out there?
Because that's where outgoing mail goes. Why would she not?
That's not how I do my mail. All right.
It's going great. It's going great.
Man, remember when we thought Jordan DeMoss had sent us something? God, when's the last time Jordan DeMoss did something for us?
It's a copy of Ms. Monopoly.
That's it.
I'm doing great.
No, it's fine. Hey, Bryce,
Hold
remember
on,
to
hold
edit
on,
the
hold on,
time
hold on.
codes of when you feel ashamed.
Yeah, can we rip this from the
Can-
VOD?
can-
Can
yeah.
Josh get this out?
Can we start like a signature campaign with like, why isn't there a Mr. Monopoly where the men make 40% more? No. Also,
That
Jordan
belongs in
DeMoss
a
totally
podcast
cops to the
series.
facts that
Yeah.
it's a lazy pig. It's a lazy pig.
Oh my God. I don't even. I'll text you the idea that I would
Uh-oh.
want to put
Oh,
with
gosh.
that one.
Yeah, by all means.
We're not going to say
There's
it on the
no
air.
chance I'm going to say it live on.
0%
Non-binary
Oh my
Monopoly?
God.
What the fuck?
A picture of Hulk Hogan pissing on the grave of Bret Hart. Well, now I've seen everything.
Skipper Never Girl says,
no, if we were to do a podcast series of these Brian ideas, they'd be risque, because sometimes Brian's got some risque ideas, including
See, he didn't send it to me because he knew I would say whatever it was. I'd leak it.
Yeah. And I
It's
want
so
you to continue.
It is quite literally the most transgressive thought I've ever had.
It's certainly gotten more transgressive as time has gone on.
I know.
I will say that.
That's what's amazing about it.
Bryce, it's best you don't know.
Yeah, I'm sensing that. Please go get drinks and do the math.
All right, BRB.
So we can get away from all of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is a good idea to punch you out on.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, Bryce, what's going on?
You got any stuff planned for your streams this coming week? Anything fun?
I was thinking about grifting.
Just for fun? Just going out?
Yeah, I was just going to grift, because it's so much easier to just be on somebody's side. So I was thinking about dedicating some days where I would just be a Trump streamer or I'd be a Biden streamer.
Oh, interesting.
I would literally just do that, and I would solicit strangers who had never seen me for money, and they would do so under the mistaken identity that I agreed with their belief. Yeah,
interesting.
I would just professionally be confirming biases, so for money, for fame and profit.
For sure. Are you concerned? Have you considered? You gotta remember. You gotta write the other speech, right? Are you concerned that this is so wildly popular
that I just become
the flip flopper, the professional flip flopper?
Here's the deal:
Island Time Justin with his famous flip flops.
I would say it would depend on what wildly successful means. Because look, there's a price. Like, I'm not saying there's not a price. I think that there is a price. Mostly I want to see whether or not I could do it.
Yeah.
Like, I mostly want to see, because in my head, I'm like, this shit is easy. You just need to say what people think. I know enough about how people think that I know what they want to hear. I just need to give them new and fresh ways to tell them what they want to hear. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, because I also have a lot of unreasonable assumptions about my own talent. Like, I also think that, give me a year and a bunch of really good producers, I could do a hit single. Like, I could make a single that would be like really, really, really good. I have no musical talent. I've just listened to enough pop music that I feel like I couldn't have a career like that. It's the consistency that would go. But could I make a one-hit wonder? Give me a year and the right producers? Fuck yeah. But I don't. But that's unreasonable. That's probably, the likelihood of that is probably very low. But I still think it. So now I'm going to see whether or not I can do it.
Nice.
I'd imagine, even more important would be the connections, the loose connections to back when movies were a thing, to get it associated with the movie or a video game or
tie-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the right video would be the same, or it would be a good idea.
Because it depends on how much they're going to promote that thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're the image song for a no-name movie that no one's ever gonna. They're not they won't make
Everyone's
a commercial
love
for
it, Bryce. It's a great movie, and I resent you shitting on my script. It's gonna be great. Sorry, you were saying.
Justin, did you need a break before we start the show?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just get some bangs.
Yeah.
So Josie is making me rewatch the last half of Devs. She was very upset that I watched the rest of it without her.
Aw.
And I was like, well, I'll just catch you up. And I got 3 words into it, and she started just going
that sounds like.
And so, man, is it harder and stranger to watch a second time?
Yeah?
That last half. Yeah. No, it's great. We never got to talk about where we disagree on it.
We didn't. I guess we should figure out where to do it because I think Tom.
Maybe
Tom
the post show. I don't think Tom's gonna watch it.
I think he would like to eventually watch it, but I don't think it's high up on his list.
Right. So I think he's going to keep saying he intends to and then not actually do it. So maybe as a hint for the after show.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that near the end of the after show so people still get some of their goodness.
Where do you suppose we disagree? Because I think if I'm going to guess,
okay,
and I don't know what you didn't like about it yet, but I do know that man, oh man, if you're playing the instrument called a dad, you have different knobs to turn, and they have different powers. And I think I suspect that there were some knobs turned that exist in me that maybe don't exist in you.
I think that's
because you're incapable of true love, Bryce. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh my gosh, I think that's objectively true. And it's been a while. I was watching it when it came out, so I'm a few months away from it now, or maybe
I also
days.
Had the privilege of binging it.
You've seen it recently, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure binging helps it a lot. But I don't know. I'll try to. I think I don't think it's going to be what knobs are turned, but more
the parts that annoy
how very slow that they turn all of it.
I'll tell you what, man. I would agree if it weren't so pretty. That Alex Garland, man, he knows how to make pretty things.
Oh my God! By the way, I saw other people taking big shits on devs on Twitter last night. Yeah, other people than Bryce, who fucking hates devs.
What's funny is
I
assumed that you were joking that anybody but Bryce doesn't like it.
No, I saw somebody else, and I'm like, I mean, fuck, they are taking big shit, and they are like 25% of the bile that fucking comes out of Bryce's mouth the second devs is brought up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll do some of that. Yeah. You haven't watched any of it yet, right, Justin?
Fuck no. You said it sucked.
All right. Well, let's do a show.
Let's dive on in, man.
All right.
I'm feeling it.
Click a couple buttons here.
Hold on. Is that for reals? Jeff Kanata did not like devs? Because I will walk off this show and call him right now if I need to fix this.
If Dr. Arnold is to be believed.
Huh. Luckily, I don't believe him. Because I believe that Kanata believes in a sensible, sane universe. And in that case, well, then again, I like Watchmen. Justin didn't. I still respect Justin. Anyway, want to start a show?
Yeah. Well, Watchmen sucked.
All right.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. There's some kind of weird disconnect. I'm not hearing.
Suck it.
Justin?
I loved it.
Sorry, Bonnie's coming in right now. I'm a little bit distracted. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Yeah. I loved it when Blue Man Tobias Bluth showed up in the final episode. I thought that was great. Is Brian doing a little workout?
He's getting a little car. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Is Brian doing the locomotion?
What's funny is like Bonnie actually is here, but
yeah, she did show up.
But it's like she's just gonna walk over here. So
Bonnie.
There's no reason for me to walk off camera.
I was like, yeah, wait, the door's not locked. Yeah. She can get in.
I'm
just about to start the show.
Making an excuse to not confront Justin about his hatred for Watchmen.
A topic you brought up.
I brought up?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. I've never seen it. I look forward to it. I loved Prometheus. I loved that movie, so I just assumed that Watchmen is great.
You know, there was a big anniversary, I think a 10-year anniversary for Lost, the Lost finale specifically.
Oh yeah, 10 years today or this week.
10 years, and so there was a lot of kind of like thought about it, but everybody who was writing about it was mostly writing about how it's imperfect, and all the criticisms I think are legitimate, but how much the finale itself kind of holds up, which I would agree. Like, aside from some of the dumber solutions they have to their bigger mysteries, which is ultimately where I think all the sin lies, like the human stuff, the character stuff with the actors was great. Like all those emotional moments landed.
I think that most
We should probably
of the
start the show. We're just starting a whole nother.
I just want to make sure Bonnie gets
Okay,
settled
cool.
in.
Yeah, sorry, Brian goes.
I was going to say that I think that most of the disappointment, and this is true both for Lost and for Battlestar Galactica, is entirely born of expectations and fan theories of the moment. And when you become fully divorced from those, I think it's easier to appreciate the soft landings that both of those series had. They're not great, but they're fine soft landings for generally good shows.
Yeah, and I think it's different than something like Game of Thrones, where like
Which
both
was
Battlestar
objectively
Galactica
fucking garbage. Like I will punch a man.
all three final seasons were very either flawed to extraordinarily flawed, fatally flawed. But the difference is with Game of Thrones, you weren't expecting a big crazy swerve. You were just kind of expecting like the wheels to clink along as they'd clinked along, and then they didn't. And it's like, wait, then what the fuck? Then what were we here for this entire time? Like, if at the end there's not going to be like, it's because the other side has 40 more men that they could just rape and pillage everybody. Like, that's the whole point of the whole series.
All right, we have to start the show. Otherwise, Jordan DeMoss is going to send another email to Dvorak.
Good, he should. Tell him to stop fucking ducking me.
No. Okay.
Ducking my ass.
All right, we got to start the show.
All right, ready.
All right, let me click a few more buttons. Are we going?